Okay. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Novel Reviews, Episode 7, Doubleshot number 3. First up, Moving Target by Cecile Castilli and Jason Fry. Pluto, let's see, there's his name. Phil Nato does the cover art for this book. This book is really good. It takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Basically, a lot of this book is just set up for Return of the Jedi. And, trying to think. Basically, the whole point of the mission is just to, where Leia is set up basically a bunch of decoy beacons to draw the Empire away from where they're bringing in the Rebel Armada, and help setting up the Battle of Endor, which they kind of do reference that in here. But since this book also, they do reference what's going on with Boba Fett and Tatooine. There's a reference that happens with Han in here. And this is actually the longest of all three books. This one's long. It's about almost 300 pages long. I think about 250. But it's decent length. This character, I think he does show up in the book. This ship is basically the base operations throughout most of the book. But it's a really decent book. Oh, also, there is a reference to the Princess Leia miniseries comic book, because they reference what happened in that miniseries at the beginning of this very book. Not the very, very beginning, like within the first few chapters. They do reference it. So, you can definitely say, yeah, the comics are definitely canon. This book definitely proves that. It's not exactly as awesome as, let's say, Smuggler's Run, but it's still a good book. I get credit for that much. And I give this book a 9 out of 10. Next up is another book by Jason Fry. This is A Weapon of the Jedi. Yeah, it's the second book featuring Luke in the canon novels. Also, I should also mention with that previous book, they do have it where Leia these are kind of like untold stories. These stories never told before. This book is simply Luke just right after the events of Return of the Jedi, of New Hope, and they have him basically going around a place. They have him do some of his own things. I would say definitely this is better than Heir to the Jedi, definitely, and it's a step up from that book in the second novel feature. Not much more. It's basically, some of the book is told from C-3PO's perspective. That's the whole point of the book. Yeah, and these two come with them. And instead of a X-Wing, Luke is piloting a Y-Wing. And he's probably thinking, oh no, I have a diplomat to bring with me. And it just happens to be C-3PO. Just by coincidence. Yeah, there's a few noteworthy things in here. Now this book, unlike the other ones, this one takes place almost directly after, I would say maybe 2 or 3 days after the events of New Hope. It's a really good book, a bit better than the Princess Leia book, because you have, I guess it's Luke, and only just 3 characters, not like 5. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the characters in that book. At least they developed them. This one has a little bit of development. There's no Vader in this book, but it's still a decent book to read, and I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Alright, stay tuned whenever next time I do a novel review, which that episode will be episode number 8. Okay, till then, see you there. Bye.